Welcome back to Soulful Entrepreneur Podcast, part two of the 10 Most Transformative Lessons series, where I am going to share 10 lessons that I've learned from the entrepreneurs that I have invited over the past few months. And these are remarkable people who have shared lessons like how to respond versus to react to situations when you're triggered by something, for instance, or embracing messiness as you're starting something new versus wanting perfection from the start, or building winner's mindset as you are going through challenges of your entrepreneurial journey. Similar to part one, I'm going to ask you to choose one lesson that you like most of all and put it down in the comment section along with why you found this lesson useful. And the best of the comments will get a gift from us, which is a planner that we're planning to launch pretty soon. This is a planner for 2025, and it's going to be super transformative for you. Let's jump right in and continue this growth journey in 2025.
One of my favorite books is Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he talks about paradigm shifts and that a person can always choose between doing this and that.
Yep.
And there's a quote that says, between action and reaction, there's always time.
Love it.
I felt it always, that it's true, but when I read it, it just stick to me like always. It just with me. Even sometimes when I want to kill someone, like literally slap him in the face.
Taxi drivers. Sometimes.
No, I really don't want to do it, but because it's like maybe it's a trained thing. I always listen. I try to listen, even if it's like shouting and yelling and screaming, all type of things, maybe not even connected to each other, but I try to hear the person. I try to understand the situation. I try to grasp the zoom out picture so that I can reflect to it. Otherwise, if I just reflect on just one certain, episode or just one certain word or an action, it wouldn't take me anywhere. I mean, I just lose time because it might be even more tense. Yep. But in this case, I just feel that that's a respect for myself. That's a respect for the person I'm talking to or I'm having business with or any situation.
So you take a minute between, let's say something happened, someone said something stupid, outrageous, let's say for you, right? You take a minute, you observe the situation, you try to understand rationally what's going on.
Of course.
And then you make the decision how to react.
Yeah. Sometimes I do it right away because that's also a trained thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you've known the person for so long that you already understand what's going on and you just need to cut it off right there, right on the spot.
From like a very practical stuff, like learn prompt engineering. It's very important, like prompt engineering, like basically learn the language of working with AI, of building your own AI or shaping your own AI. Because I heard it from Sam Altman, like recently, and it was something like about like, it's possible that there will be one person, $1 billion company with AI.
One person, $1 billion.
One person company, which is a $1 billion company.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so with AI, it's possible. I absolutely agree. And for that, you need prompt engineering for sure. If you are not technical, at least you need, you need like prompt engineering. So that's why like a prompt engineering is super important.
Yeah.
Armenian company Code Signal, right? So they have like a Tigran Sloyan, the founder.
Mm-hmm.
So they recently published a course on prompt engineering, which seems to be one of the best out there. I think they published about maybe 2 weeks ago, and it seems to be one of the best prompt engineering course out there. So yeah, like check it out. That will be like a practical advice from more like a high level things. Okay, what to look at, right? So which country to go? Okay, so which field to play? Mm-hmm. So consider actually Bitcoin You may also consider crypto, but there's a very a distinct difference, like for me, between crypto and Bitcoin. I consider Bitcoin because it feels that Bitcoin is going to be very important in our lives, in, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And now if you are entering Bitcoin as an entrepreneur, it's like starting an internet company in 1995. So consider Bitcoin, find something which makes more or less sense, and be there. If you don't know where to spend your time, that's what I would advise. Spend your time in Bitcoin. Whether it's education, whether you're joining a company as a sales, as product, it doesn't make sense. Just be there. So that would be my advice. And the second one would be, I'm a bit less sure about this one, but it might be true as well. And like you read in the poem in the beginning, it was about the borderless world, right? Yeah. So I believe the world is going to get borderless, and it's getting more and more borderless, and at some point it will be much more, and which means the mobility, a global mobility of people, of individuals, is going to be really important. And here we are talking about the category or group of people called digital nomads, right? So if that idea of also this a global war makes sense for you, consider doing also something for digital nomads. I see plenty of opportunities there. I see again huge potential for growth, in Bitcoin, and because if you again, it's going to be very similar starting an internet company in 1995. So these two would be the industries I would consider. I'm considering myself, not I would consider. I'm considering myself. So prompt engineering for skills, and for the visionary part, and in order to add to it, what I would add also, take care of your personality, take care of your character, and make sure you are comfortable internally.
Definitely, it's a learned skill. I think anyone can learn how to do it. And there are people who come off confident, but they're really not, and you can definitely tell. For me, I had a bit of that myself, where I really worked on myself and sort of developed the technicalities of confidence. But the shift really only happened when, again, I really learned how to love myself. And I know I've said this before, and I'm sorry, but it's probably the most important leadership lesson that I've had over the years, is that you can't be a good team member, you can't be a good partner, you can't be a good mother, you can't be a good daughter or sister, a friend. You literally can't do any of those things unless you really love yourself first. And as it's written in the Bible, I'm a Christian. I know this, we're going to be, we're doing this for the Armenian community also. And I think, people who think that's a silly thing to say, it's also part of, who we've been for thousands of years, is, Jesus taught us to do that. So, yeah. And I think theoretically, a lot of us understand that, but it's a feeling. It's not an intellectual concept. It's a feeling. And when I was able to feel that towards myself, very late, I'd say, in life. I'm 35 now. This is probably the last 5 years or so where I'm on this journey of really liking who I am, and loving myself, and it's transformed completely the relationships I have, even with like people who I've been working with, let's say for 10 years.
You have to believe in what you do, and confidence comes with it. There's a whole set of values that come with it, if I may, segue to that. The enthusiasm that comes with confidence. But you do want to be a bit paranoid about the competition or what might happen. The rock is going to hit you from above, and the ecosystem is going to disappear. Things that you cannot worry about. Anything you cannot do anything about, you don't worry about too much, but you watch everything, like a hawk that could, destroy your venture. You have to be fiercely competitive, and there's a healthy dose of paranoia associated with that. Also, if you're doing groundbreaking new things, game-changing plays, you have to aim high. So with that, you have to inspire people to believe in your vision. So all of that just has to come from, confidence. And then that leads to everything else. It leads to the trust you build in your team. The leadership style also matters. You're not telling people what to do. You're not telling them. You inspire them so that they have the initiative to do things, and correspondingly, you share the upside with the team. So everyone has a stake in the game. I mean, unfortunately, as an industry, we have moved from this model that was pervasive to more of a winner takes all model. And that was, the Hollywood model, I'd like to call it. And that takes away for something. Basically, you work really hard, you get very little, and your hope is that, you're the star of the next movie, right? And so, I don't believe in that. I believe that we should share. I hope that inspires people to share.
When I look back, I kind of cringe at some of the things we did. But listen, we've got to be innovative, I guess. So, for example, we wanted to do a weekly news podcast. Magda Markosyan, who is the managing editor, who started with me right from the very beginning, she and I said, okay, let's do a podcast. Let's be the first in Armenia to do podcasts. Well, we didn't have podcasting equipment. We didn't know how to do audio editing, video edit, nothing. So we used our iPhones, and it's a joke. It's a running joke now. So we would record the podcast, well, whatever, we would record on our phones. And if we made a mistake, we'd go back to the beginning and start again because we didn't know how to edit. And then, we were doing it in our homes. I had an office at AUA. Thank God AUA, we were using my office at AUA. Or like in Lubina's house, she had a dog and a cat, and the dog would bark and the cat would jump on the table. Then we'd have to start again, and there would be too much of an echo. I mean, it was just ridiculous, right? But we wanted to do it. Or one time we were in an office and there were these bean bags, and we put the bean bags around us, and we were doing the podcast recording on our phones. So yeah, it was not good quality. We didn't know what the hell we were doing, but we knew we had to do it. And so, yeah, the quality wasn't good. But we really strove to, when we are now at a point where we will receive many pitches for articles, and I will decline them sometimes because, I'll say, we're not a community paper. We are a magazine, an online magazine, doing long form journalism. We are not going to publish just anything anymore. So we are in a position now that we're very picky. We have some internal mechanisms that we've put into place to fact check. One article sometimes goes through 5 hands. People don't believe it. Like if it'll come in Armenian, it'll go to the Armenian language editor, and then the managing editor will look at it. They'll make adjustments or whatever. They'll send it back to the author. It'll come back. Then we send it for translation. And then it comes back from translation. Then it's copy edited. And then I get the final sort of version, and then I look at it, and then I find holes in it, and then I send it back to the. So it's a back and forth process. I think I should do a video on the story of one article, like what it takes for one article to be published. And it's very rare that we get an article that's perfect and good to go. Everything is a process.
How did you initially build that network? What did it take for you to create this amazing network of not just female entrepreneurs, but also thinking about the ecosystem, right? What female entrepreneurs need to be supported, and then building that through. What was this process like for you?
Yeah, I agree with that secret sauce idea being the network. And when I look back into the secrets of building this network, and again, it's maybe in the nature of a person who is either a networker or someone who can make use of any network, right? Or just try to find those people in different ways, connections and benefit from those networks. So basically, when I look back, and one thing that I can clearly say is that I love talking to people, and that's something not just saying, right? It's a matter of just loving in every conversation that it takes. Of course, through my journey, I already have a number of cases when I just don't get into conversations because it's a matter of time and you cannot talk to every person, right? But when it comes to talking, I love exploring myself, and I love exploring the person and the environment that I am in. So this is one natural benefit that I have when creating the network. But then when it comes also the network itself, it's not one-time effort. You know this person? Okay, it's forever. No, I have people in my network, and if I don't have or push the relations enough over the process, of course, it's not every day that I talk to thousands of people, but it's using every chance to sustain those relations. Supporting someone, answering someone, asking someone. It's a way to really sustain and nurture those relations.
Don't be too greedy. Don't be driven by greed or allow ambition to force you into decisions that ultimately will lead to failure. You can be ambitious, you can want an economic return, but realize that your investors have as much skin in the game as you, and that you need to pass it on or pay it forward so that as you become successful, make other people successful.
Motivation is number one, obviously. The curiosity, are they curious? Do they want to learn constantly and grow? And then the other one is analytical skills, obviously, and also the collaboration skills. Like, do they know how to work in a team? It's such an important factor, right? Like, when you are at school, maybe you are not, yes, you might have some team projects, etc. But the most important thing, the professional life, nothing is happening by itself. It's all about how you work with others and how you, and higher levels you go, how you uplift others to do the work better. So that's such an important quality. And even many companies, they don't just rate their employees on what they accomplish, they also rate their employees on how they accomplish, because the how factor, how they do it, it's so equally important as what they have done it. So those are the qualities I will look for.
Keep going, don't give up. Keep trying more things. Stop thinking that you know everything. Ask more questions, learn more, position yourself to succeed more, if that makes sense. And yeah, that's yeah, and to keep and as an entrepreneur to try more things early on, to figure out what you want to do based on trying things out and realizing what you don't like and what you like and what you're good at. Because it's one thing to follow your talent, it's one thing to follow your talents and your skills, and then what you like, and all, most of the time those things aren't the same of what you're naturally good at as a person. versus what you want to do or whatnot. The one thing I want to add is, if like whether you like them or you don't like them, I'm talking about America, but I'm trying to draw an example. Take Elon Musk. This guy is running multiple billion-dollar companies. He's traveling all over the world. He is tweeting multiple times a day. He is like streaming and like gaming with like people that are like half his age, and he's still on top of his game. Like if again, I'm not an Elon Musk. He's one of the smartest people that is alive on Earth. But if he can send rockets into space and then like catch them with chopsticks, like we can learn the things that we say we can't do, whether it's like getting better at social media or developing a skill or two. Like we have to really stop with the excuses and stop with all of that, and to just want to get better. Like there are books out there are videos out there we can watch. The way we learn design and social media is all through like reading books and through experience and through YouTube. So a lot of the times that when people say they can't do something, it's just an excuse and they actually can.
What is great is, for example, write every day one thing where you have achieved a success. Because at the beginning, it is usually a journey full of no and refusing, and we are not good enough. And we have found out there's another competitor who does the same, is 10 times bigger. So every day, write one line, what I have achieved this day regarding the business. Second one, I really recommend to do sport, to do the wellness and the meditation. If you are able to work on the meditation level with your mind, you are able to control yourself, your emotions, and where you are standing.
And do you have specific meditations in mind that they could do, like any type of like body scan or anything that you would say, or research that we could point them to?
So I would recommend this, as you said, body scan. I know it also under the name of Vipassana. It is, as you are saying, it is, you sit in the quiet place with closed eyes and you are scanning and just feeling every part of your body. And that takes you totally from your thoughts. So you are not focusing on what is happening in your mind, but you are focusing on each part of your body. That helps a lot. That helps a lot because then you are able to detach from your emotions and to get this third perspective of the problems that you might be solving. What also helps to look at a situation which looks heavy, to look at it as a third person, to kind of get out and to look at here I am standing, here is the problem, and now I'm looking at it as a third person, as a visitor. What do I see? How do I sense this situation?